So today what we're going to work on is solving a system of equations algebraically using the substitution method. So what you want to do is put one of the equations in y equals form. Then you're going to substitute that equation in for the y value of the other equation. You're going to solve. You might have to use quadratic formula to complete the square. You're going to plug each x value in to find each y value, write the solution as a point, and then you're going to check it. So let's take a look at number 1. We have y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. That's a quadratic parabola. And y plus 7 is equal to 2x. This is a linear. So since my quadratic is in y equals form, I'm going to take x squared minus 6x plus 5 and substitute it in for the y value. So I get x squared minus 6x plus 5 plus 7 is equal to 2x. So when I combine like terms, I get x squared minus 6x plus 12 equals 2x. So I'm going to minus 2x from both sides. So I get x squared minus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0. So now I'm going to factor. So I'm going to do master product. So I have positive 12x squared. So what multiplies to 12 and adds to 8, that would be 6 and 6x and 2x. They're the same signs, they're both negative. That gives me negative 8x. Bring down the positive 12 and the x squared. Now we're going to factor by grouping. So I have x times x minus 6 and negative 2 times x minus 6. So my factors are x minus 2 and x minus 6. So I draw my t-chart and I get x is equal to positive 2 and x is equal to positive 6. Okay, so after we get our x values, we want to get our y values. Okay, so you're going to take each x value and plug it into one of the equations to find the y value. So I'm going to plug it into the linear because the linear equations are usually easiest. You have to do this for each x value. So it's y plus 7 equals 2 times 2. That's my x value, 2. So y plus 7 equals 4, so minus 7, y is equal to negative 3. So you're going to write the word solution. And one of my solutions is 2 comma negative 3. All right, on to the other side when x is equal to 6. So I have y plus 7 equals 2 times 6. So that's y plus 7 equals 12. So 12 minus 7 is 5. So my other solution would be 6 comma 5. All right, and the last thing you're going to do is you're going to check. All right, so you have two solutions and you have two equations to check. So that means you're going to have 4 checks. All right, you're going to take each equation, y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. You're going to do that for both solutions, both points. And you're going to do the same thing for y plus 7 equals 2x. All right, so for the quadratic, so my y is, so for the first one, negative 3 equals 2 squared minus 6 times 2 plus 5. So the right side, just plug that in your calculator all at one time. You get negative 3 equals negative 3, and that checks. Now we're going to do y plus 7 equals 2x. So my y is negative 3 plus 7 equals 2 times 2. So negative 3 plus 7 is 4 equals 4, and that checks. Okay, on to the other point. So I have my y is 5 equals x is 6. So that's 6 squared minus 6 times 6 plus 5. Plug the right side in your calculator. 5 equals 5, and that checks. And now we're going to try for y plus 7 equals 2x. So it's 5 plus 7 equals 2 times 6. So that's 12 equals 12, and that checks. All right, so flip it over, and let's take a look on the back. Okay, so for this I have a circle, x squared plus y squared equals 36, and I have a line, a linear. So my linear is already in y equals form, so I'm going to take my linear and plug it into my y here. So that is x squared plus, now it's y squared, and your y is 2x minus 3, so you have to square it, equals 36. So that's x squared plus 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3 equals 36. So I have x squared plus 4x squared, I'm double distributing, minus 6x plus 9 equals 36. Combine like terms, I get 5x squared minus 12x plus 9 equals 36 minus 36. From both sides, I get 5x squared minus 12x minus 27 equals 0. Okay, so this is not factorable, so we have to use quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula, remember, is x equals negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so I get x is equal to 12 plus minus the square root of negative 12 squared minus 4 times 5 times 9 over 2 times 5. So I get x equals 12. Plug what's underneath the radical into the calculator, you get 684 over 10. And then we can simplify the square root of 684. So that comes out to be 36 and 19. So that's 6 to the square root of 19. Okay, so I have x is equal to 12 plus or minus 6 to the square root of 19 over 10. And then remember, in order to reduce, you have to make a heart. What goes into 12, 6, and 10? That is 2, 6, 3, and 5. So I get x equals 6 plus minus 3 to the square root of 19 over 5. So let's separate our x's. So one of my x's is x equals 6 plus 3 to the square root of 19 over 5. And the other x is 6 minus 3 to the square root of 19 over 5. Okay, so now that I have my x values, I have to get my two y values. So I'm going to definitely plug it into my linear, which is y is equal to 2x minus 3. So it's y equals 2 times 6 plus 3 to the square root of 19 over 5, and then minus 3. So you have to distribute the 2. So we get y equals 12 plus 6, the square root of 19 over 5, minus 3. And now you can actually get this to have the same denominator, so that would be, remember, 15 over 5. So then you can combine the 12 fifths and the 15 fifths, which comes out to be y equals so that is y equals negative 3 plus 6 to the square root of 19 over 5. So my point is going to be, my x value is 6 plus 3 to the square root of 19 over 5, comma, and then the y value is negative 3 plus 6 to the square root of 19 over 5. So that's one point here. All right, so now we have to work on the other point. So we're plugging in now this x value. So I have y equals 2 times 6 minus 3 to the square root of 19 over 5 minus 3. So I distribute the 2, so I get y equals 12 minus 6 to the square root of 19 over 5 minus 3. So I can combine like terms, so the 3 becomes 15 over 5, remember. So then I can add these here, the 12 fifths and minus 15 over 5, so that's negative 3. So y is equal to negative 3 minus 6 to the square root of 19 over 5. And then my other point would be, my x value would be 6 plus 3 to the square root of, 6 minus. So I have 6 minus the square root of 19, 3 to the square root of 19 over 5, comma, negative 3 minus 6 to the square root of 19 over 5. Okay, so that's it, and we'll practice in class tomorrow. Have a good night.